Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about my journey to sustainable health and meaningful success. And today I am going to just be doing my January health update. It's the last Thursday of the month. And so, I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna let you know what's all been happening in my world. I got the camera really close because I felt like I wanted to be close to you. Thank you so much if you are coming back and you've already subscribed. Y'all are my people and I love you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I ask that you will please consider doing so at any time during the video. Anyway, so my physical health update, I don't think I made as much progress as I was hoping to, but I did make progress. I ended up losing 4 pounds. I weighed in this morning and I was 338.8 pounds. And so in December, my health update, I did before Christmas and before New Year's. So I would imagine that since the last health update that I've done, there was probably a lot of fluctuation, but I ended up still having lost 4 pounds at the end of January. So I am happy about that. However, I am getting a little bit more serious about, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, which is linked in the description, but on my Instagram I posted a day where I tried to do intermittent fasting, and I was just really struggling because I didn't know what I was allowed to drink during a fast in order to stay in a fasting state. So I was like not drinking any caffeine or anything, and I thought I was gonna die. But I have noticed that I feel a lot better, and just my blood sugar is a lot more stable. Like, there's just, I don't know, I feel well when I am kind of doing an intermittent fast. I guess it's named that for a reason. But anyway, so yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm gonna get more serious about it, and it's gonna be good, I think. So that's physical health. I'm gonna put my measurements in the description below. Not much has changed. I've like gained a half inch in some areas and lost an inch in another area. So it's like, I don't really know what's happening to my body. I don't know if I'm just measuring myself wrong. But anyway, if you're really into tracking the progress, I will put my first measurements, which were in my October health update. So I'll put my October measurements versus the current month's measurements in the description. So yeah, that's physical health, I guess. That's all I could say. My mental health is a little on the rocks at the moment. Actually, my insurance, I had to change my insurance, and my current insurance does not cover any behavioral health. Like, no therapy whatsoever is covered under my insurance. I am frustrated about this, but I'm finding other ways to cope. And I guess at some point, you just kind of have to call it, right? Because with therapy and with treatment, I don't know if there really is an end time or like a time where you no longer need to go to therapy. There's always going to be, I mean, at least for myself, there's always going to be stressful situations. There's always going to be more things to process and cope with. Not because I'm like plagued with all this drama. It's just normal life stuff. And I don't think I've really known how to handle that in a healthy way prior to this point. It's why I had an eating disorder in college and gained like 100 pounds in a year. And it's why I've just gone through a lot of the things that I have gone through. It's just because I haven't been coping with that properly. So, yeah, but I think I am in a better place now than ever before, really. So I have been journaling a lot because I realized that I am a very angry person, which actually shocked me, but this is what it is. I feel a lot of things toward a lot of people. So I have to cope with that in a healthy way that's not going to get me arrested. So that's that's what I'm working on right there. But I probably will go back to painting or doing something else constructive, just to be able to process through emotions in a healthy way. That's all we're trying to learn, right? Social health has been interesting because I reconnected with a couple of people who left Amway before I left Amway. So I've been getting to spend more time chatting with them. We're reconnecting, we're venting and processing through a lot of stuff that happened in Amway. I'm hearing their stories, and obviously I only really share my own story on this channel. It's not other people's businesses. Other people's business isn't really mine to share, especially on this channel, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the events unfold and see if more people start coming forward with what happened to them in their time in Amway, and potentially we might be able to see some real effective change if we keep working together. So we'll see about that. But also in social health, it's just I'm meeting up with a bunch of friends, reconnecting with friends. I have a walking date tomorrow with a friend that we're just going to walk this indoor track because it's healthier than eating junk food together. So we're trying to make something happen. So yeah, but I'm excited to reconnect with people and just continue building that community. It also helps. A lot of everything is kind of intertwined with what I update people on. My social health helps my mental health and everything. So anyway, my financial health has improved tremendously. I know at the end of December, I told you that I was going to make a completely separate video about a surprise that I received during the holiday season, but I'm going to wait until it's warmer, but I am going to just tell you now. My grandpa was going to trade in his old car. It's a 2009 Mercury Sable, I think. I don't know cars at all, but he was going to trade it in, but he heard the story of when I was driving back from Chicago up to Kenosha with my sliding door held closed only by a scarf that I had tied around the headrest of the driver's seat, and he was compelled to very generously give me his car. So that has changed absolutely everything. I'm so grateful. It's a beautiful car, and I can't wait to actually do a separate video to give you a tour of the van that I'm driving now and then contrast it with this new car. So gorgeous. But also with the savings that I had kind of set aside for replacing my van at some, any given moment that van could crap out and then I'd be left without a vehicle. With that savings, I was able to pay off all of my credit card debt, and I was able to put some in savings and some in investments, and I am starting 2020 with a much more financially stable situation than I've had in a very, very long time. So I am just so grateful for that gift. Thank you, Grandpa John, so much. So yeah, coming soon. It'll be a great video. I have not started driving that car yet, though, because I still have a little bit of life to squeeze out of my van, and I would like to spare this new car from one last winter of salt and potential ice accidents and all that. I'm just trying to delay driving that new car until the season gets better and I'm able to fully enjoy it. And then lastly is my spiritual health, which is always a little shaky. Let's be real. Last month I was reading Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, and I finished that book. It was really helpful to provide some good perspective without directly leaning on biblical references, because I don't think you can prove something with that thing itself. I don't know. Others might disagree with me, and that's their right, but I enjoyed reading the perspective from a purely logical standpoint or outside source to help prove the Bible, but yeah, it was just very informative. That is how I would describe it at this season of my life. Now I'm reading this book called A Christian Walks in the Footsteps of the Buddha. It's been super informative, I guess, is really the word for anything that I describe on a spiritual level. It's like I consider myself more informed. But yeah, I think learning from a different culture and a different religion and kind of cross-referencing that with Christianity and seeing how the two religions deal with the matter of suffering has been really good. I have learned so much just from studying that. When I initially left Amway, I did do some soul searching, and then when I lost my baby in August, I was very lost, had no idea how to deal with grief. I probably had studied grief in a Christian context before, but as soon as it really hit me, I don't think I had any sort of grip on how I should deal with those kind of emotions. So, oddly enough, I kind of turned to some Buddhist principles of pain and suffering, and it actually really helped me grieve. I don't know how to really explain it without being too long-winded, but yeah. So now reading that book has been really interesting, and as I said in my Ecuador video, I just think that when you learn of a different culture, you learn a different way of living, and you learn from a people group that you would consider very foreign to how you were raised or how you know how to live. I think it gives you a bigger perspective. It gives me a bigger perspective of who God is, because we're all creations of God. So when you get to know something that seems very foreign to you, you actually get to know a bigger picture of the thing that you came from. So it's been really good. And oddly enough, I've been taking like recycling and more animal conscious, earth conscious steps in my lifestyle, buying products if I need to buy a new skincare product. I've been like making sure that it's cruelty free and vegan, and I mean, I might sound like a total fruitcake for saying all this, but honestly, I think that that's a principle that's lost on a lot of people who consider themselves spiritual people, that if we as humans, as the elite creatures of the world, were charged with the task of taking care of the planet, how much we have neglected that. And it's all God's creation, so the fact that humans do such a poor job of actually honoring that which God created, it's kind of astounding, and it's something that I'm trying to change in my own life. Obviously, I'm not perfect. Never make claims to be perfect in this channel. But really trying to move myself in that direction. And I actually am taking that as more of a spiritual practice than anything else. It might just be a phase, but I'm pretty convinced that, at least for myself, if this is a stage in my journey where I'm just bitter and angry toward people, at least I can channel love and care and respect toward other living things. And maybe maybe I don't have the capacity right now to do that toward humans, but I'm trying to make some conscious steps to honor God's creation. So, take it or leave it, I guess. It's been an interesting time though. You know, we're learning so many different things. We're making progress. February is going to be a great month. February 1st is my time that I've been invited to go on the Scott Johnson radio show to talk about my experience with Amway and spread more awareness of just the absolute nightmare that my experience was, and to maybe help other people not get in that same situation. So I'll link the details of that down in the description. And February 15th, I am recording with my good friend from high school, Abby. We haven't connected in years, but she has invited me to be a guest on her podcast called A Stillness. You can check that out on Patreon and check her out on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram down below as well. And I'll give you more details as it's approaching that's going to be released. But she's just so mindful and so present, I guess you could say. The best way I could describe it is she approaches the same kinds of things that I'm dealing with on my daily life, but she just has a lot more zen. And I really appreciate that about her. So we're going to have a fun conversation on her podcast, and that's going to be coming out maybe in February. It's at least going to be recorded in February, but I'll give you details. And yeah, I'm going to Vegas with my mom at the end of February. That's going to be fun. She's one of the most conservative Christian women that I know, so it's going to be an interesting trip to Sin City. We're going to have such a good time, actually, though. So, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good month. I hope y'all are doing well. And just striving every day to live more in love, joy, and peace. And, as we approach our own journeys, doing the best we can with what we have. So, it's a good time. Anyway, I'll see you next week with something. I don't know what the video is going to be. It'll be fun, though. So, okay. Bye.